Recording time. Today, the topic for this video is something that I've been starting to think about or have thought about in the past. And I've always wanted to talk about it in a video, but never knew how to get to the subject because I needed a reason to kind of bring it up. Last video I thought was pretty decent. It was dress code mp4 and I got these goggles in that video and I was kind of explaining why I was wearing them and whatever. And now that I have these goggles, it kind of gives me a reason to talk about this subject. So I'll kind of start from a little while ago. Basically, I was watching this video that was titled like what are people wearing in New York? Like what are people wearing in New York Fashion Week or something? I'll pop up like a screenshot. If you can see in the screenshot the red player, like the playback little what's it called, the timeline thing, it's like the red bit is really small because I actually didn't watch most of the video because I clicked off after I heard something, and I actually didn't have time to watch the full video and I never got back to it. But the small bit, like the small thing that I heard in that small section of the beginning of the video was enough for me to remember and actually want to talk about it in this video. Now more than ever, because of social media and because of easy access to advertise any product and any idea and anything we want, we kind of have like a surplus of what you can call TikTok brands. And this video isn't going to be about bashing TikTok brands or Instagram brands or IG fashion or whatever, TikTok fashion, because there's plenty of good or bad videos about that on YouTube already that I've watched by creators that I like. So I'm not going to be talking about TikTok fashion in general or TikTok brands, but really what I want to talk about is like more of world building and or character building. So why I mentioned this New York Fashion Week video, what people are wearing in New York, whatever the title was, it was because in that first section of the video, when the interviewer was interviewing the people, he was asking, okay, well, what are you wearing? Like, let's get a fit check. And the second girl in the video, I think, said, oh, this is a piece from my brand, right? And what that has to do with the character building is that I feel like, again, like I said, because of this social media thing and this oversaturation of having like a clothing brand, it's almost looked down upon because people can be seen as trying to just farm money for lazy brands, lazy graphic prints, lazy hoodies, lazy designs. And it's often looked down upon when, let's say, a teenager says, I want to make my own brand. People could think it's cool, or their friends could think it's cool, but at the same time, online you can get a lot of hate for it and be like, oh, okay, it's just another IG brand. Okay, what's the big deal? But something clicked when I was watching that little portion of the video was the interviewer asks, "What are you wearing?" and the girl in the video says, "This is I'm wearing a piece from my brand." And I thought for a second, I was like, you know what? This isn't somebody trying to be something that they're not. This isn't a designer trying to trying to promote themselves and self promote and just be like trying to be the next big thing. All this is a person that had an idea that they thought was good enough to share with the rest of the world. And I think that's kind of what art is about in the first place. It's not because you don't make a fashion brand or you don't make a clothing brand or you don't make a company or anything that's related to art just because you think you can make money out of it. You do it because you think that the idea is good enough for you to share with other people that could also get some type of enjoyment or appreciation. What the fuck's the word? Appreciation. Get some appreciation out of it without even spending money. You can just look at the piece and be like, oh, that's a great piece. The reason I think we need to slow down on, I guess, like the hate or the negative perception on starting your own clothing brand is because if we really think about it, we are all just regular ass people, right? If you have an idea for something and you think it's good enough to share, then what else do you call it? Merch? It would be strange to make clothes and call them merch because when you sell merch, it's like there's a bigger idea behind it. It's usually a person of influence has merch, or a company of influence has merch, or maybe not even of influence, just like a company or something that you can attach to the clothes. But if there's no real name behind it, it's mainly just an idea. You can't really call it merch. Do you see what I'm saying? Let's say, for example, you're unknown online, right? You have no following, you have no nothing, but you just got an idea for some crazy pants, for example, that you want to make and you think people will like. If you try to design the pants and manufacture them and sell them to people, to call it merch would be strange because it's like, well, who are you? Like, I understand these pants are cool, but like, who are you? Is this your merch? Whose merch? You're really nobody, but people are appreciating you for your ideas. So to use this word brand kind of makes the most sense. And why the title of this video is Become a Character is basically just because right now I'll pop up pictures of my iPad or my sketchbooks. I've kind of drawn this cartoonish portrait of what is obviously my face with like the afro and these kind of goofy oversized goggles, right? And it was mainly all those pictures that you might see or that I pop up on the screen were these goggles. These are Iron Man goggles from CVS. If you can see. Damn. There you go. It's backwards, but it's there. The brand is Iron Man, just very like gas station wall, like not gas station, but like CVS pharmacy store glasses. I got them in Miami because I needed polarized glasses for fishing, for a fishing trip. But after the trip, I kind of wore them casually because I liked the round shape and how they looked like goggles, even though they're just normal glasses. Like I like how they're just like big, like bug eye goggle looking, like I like the goggle shape. So I wore these a lot, and I drew these portraits of myself wearing these. And basically, what does that have to do with character building? I think it's mainly just, like I said, we're all just normal people with ideas, right? So if you have a way to market your ideas or share your ideas with people, you should definitely create some type of alias under these ideas, under like an alias at what the fuck? And to kind of go back to that TikTok fashion thing that I was talking about, the brands that make their whole thing about just like normal graphic hoodies and basically are built just for making money and just to sell out, regular hoodies with regular graphic prints, and that their whole focus is just to make the most baseline, like easy designs that enough people will like for them to make a great profit from it. Brands like that will eventually die out because there was no original world building, there was no community, there was no character development, there was no lore, there was no plot, there was no nothing, there was nothing behind it. And again, I'm not some expert designer. I've never even showed a piece of clothes that I've ever thought of or designed. I've never showed it on this channel. I just talk about clothing brands, but I really, it's just because I'm interested in it. And I like this fictional world where we can buy and sell clothes that are mad expensive but have crazy ridiculous design, like old vintage avant-garde or even modern avant-garde. I'm really interested in. I like to see things that are used in the wrong ways and things that are used in ways that you wouldn't expect. Don't be afraid to be a character. Like this channel, for example, I named it Prince Shirellis. That's my legal first and last name. Antoine, this is Prince Shirellis. My name is Prince Shirellis. Antoine's my middle name. But this is Prince Shirellis. It's not some alias. I didn't name the channel Slava. I didn't name it like some like gamer tag. I didn't name it some I didn't I just used my normal name because this is somewhere where I could come and you guys can get to know this person, me. But at the same time, I could also have some other character building under a different alias just for the fun of it, just because that can be like a creative side, or that can be like whatever artsy side of me, or whatever the hell. I'm just trying to say, find something that you resonate with that is uniquely you, that people can recognize you for, whether it's a hat, glasses, the way you wear a chain, the way you wear a watch, the way you wear your shoes, the way you talk, the way you even the way you walk, literally. Build a character around yourself. I'm not saying be two-faced. I'm basically just saying don't be afraid to be unique, because being unique is basically all you have. Without the ideas that I have in my head of how I can separate myself from everybody else, I am just a 17-year-old in Florida. But because of all of my brainstorming that I've had since I was 15 and drawings and sketches, I now have the confidence to come and speak to an audience and tell you guys that you should do the same. It's really a beautiful thing that we all have the opportunity to have brands, to have characters, to have our own mini plots, subplots. We're all the main characters of our own lives, but to other people, we're just subplots. So make sure that you're the best subplot you can be in other people's lives. I'm not saying change for other people, but for yourself. Make you the best you can be in other people's life. I'm not Kanye, so I'm gonna stop yapping now, but I guess we'll never know. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, and if not, I'll give you a reason to tomorrow.